Imagine a world before writing, a time when entire civilizations thrived, built monumental structures that defied the ages, and navigated vast oceans, all without a single written record. How did they store and transmit the immense, intricate knowledge vital for their very survival, their advancement, and the perpetuation of their complex societies? In an age dominated by digital clouds, where our collective memory is housed in unseen servers, we are poised to delve into history's most enigmatic storage system, the forgotten cloud of ancient oral traditions. Join Echoes of Time as we journey through the ages, unearthing the sophisticated yet invisible archives of pre-literate societies, and revealing how complex data, from astronomical observations to intricate genealogies and critical navigational routes, was meticulously preserved across generations. For centuries, historians, entrenched in a world defined by the permanence of text, largely dismissed oral traditions as unreliable, mere folklore, fragile whispers easily distorted by time and retelling. The prevailing view held that without the tangible anchor of written script, detailed information would inevitably degrade, morphing into myth or vanishing altogether. The very notion that entire bodies of knowledge, essential for the functioning of advanced cultures, could endure for millennia through the fragile medium of human memory seemed preposterous, a romantic notion rather than a robust historical fact. Yet, what if this dismissal, born of our own cultural biases, blinded us to one of humanity's most profound and ingenious achievements in knowledge management? What if, beneath the dust of centuries, there lies a system of data storage so sophisticated, so deeply interwoven with the fabric of life, that it rivals any written manuscript in its rigor and fidelity? Emerging evidence, gathered from diverse corners of the globe, strongly suggests a profound and meticulously designed system was indeed at play. Consider the intricate songlines of Indigenous Australians, which were far more than simple melodies or poetic verses. These were living maps, mnemonic landscapes that encoded vast territories with breathtaking precision, guiding travelers across immense distances, charting water sources, and detailing sacred sites through generations. Their poetic structures served as an indelible framework for environmental data, a navigational aid, and a spiritual guide, passed down with an unwavering accuracy that speaks to a profound understanding of information transfer. Then there are the prodigious memory feats of Vedic scholars in ancient India. For thousands of years, long before their eventual transcription, thousands of hymns, constituting entire encyclopedias of philosophical, ritual, and cosmological knowledge, were preserved orally. The precision required to maintain the exact meter, rhythm, and intonation of these sacred texts was staggering, demanding years of intense training and a collective commitment to preservation that stands as a testament to the power of human memory. These weren't simply stories to be retold. They were living archives, their integrity guarded by generations of dedicated memorizers, ensuring their immaculate transmission. And across the vast, open expanse of the Pacific, Polynesian voyagers navigated immense oceans, traversing thousands of miles with astonishing accuracy, long before the invention of modern instruments or written charts. Their celestial navigation chants and complex oral traditions contained an astronomical almanac, a dynamic database of stars, currents, swells, and winds. These weren't abstract theories, but practical, vital data passed down through generations of master navigators, enabling epic journeys of discovery and settlement. Their ability to read the ocean and the sky was a direct outcome of a sophisticated oral knowledge system, a profound example of how critical, life-sustaining information could be stored and retrieved with extraordinary reliability. These examples compel us to ask, how did these cultures achieve such remarkable fidelity in data transmission without the permanence of text? What precise mechanisms prevented degradation or alteration of information over millennia? How did they manage to encode and decode such vast and complex data, ensuring its integrity and accessibility across countless generations? The answers, researchers now hypothesize, lie in groundbreaking perspectives that challenge our very modern understanding of knowledge management and the limits of human cognition. One compelling perspective suggests that ancient peoples employed advanced mnemonic devices, far more elaborate than simple rhymes or acronyms. These were akin to memory palaces, sophisticated mental architectures constructed to house vast repositories of information. Imagine an intricate mental landscape, perhaps based on a familiar village, a long journey, or a specific astronomical pattern. Within this mental space, every object, every turn, every landmark could be associated with a specific piece of data, a genealogical name, an astronomical observation, a medicinal plant's properties, or a sequence of ritual actions. By mentally walking through these palaces, information could be accessed, reviewed, and reinforced. This wasn't merely rote memorization. It was a deeply spatial and sensory engagement with knowledge, embedding information not just in memory, but in a rich, multi-layered cognitive environment. The more vivid and emotionally resonant the mental location, the more robustly the associated data would be preserved, creating an internal library that was both vast and remarkably resilient. Another powerful theory posits that entire social structures, rituals, and specialized roles within societies were meticulously designed to function as distributed data networks, effectively creating a living, breathing cloud of knowledge. In this model, knowledge wasn't centralized but spread across the entire social fabric, with each individual or specific groups of individuals serving as a distinct node in a vast interconnected system. Consider the griots of West Africa, who were not merely storytellers but living historical archives, genealogists, musicians, and advisors, entrusted with the sacred duty of preserving the history, laws, and customs of their people. Their training was rigorous, their performances public and often ritualistic, providing opportunities for verification and collective reinforcement of the stored data. Similarly, the bards in Celtic societies held esteemed positions, their epic poems and sagas encoding not just tales of heroes, but also legal precedents, societal values, and historical lineages. In these distributed systems, specific rituals, ceremonies, and even daily practices served as mechanisms for knowledge transfer and verification. Recitation in public forums, apprenticeship systems where knowledge was passed from elder to apprentice over years, and the communal nature of learning all contributed to the robustness of the system. If one node of the network faltered, other nodes could corroborate, correct, and reinforce the information, ensuring its integrity. This wasn't a fragile system dependent on a single point of failure, but a resilient, self-correcting network where the collective memory of the community acted as a powerful safeguard against loss or alteration. The debate also extends to whether the loss of this profound oral knowledge, particularly with the advent of writing, was a consequence of a fragile system, simply unable to compete with the permanence of text, or rather a more deliberate, even evolutionary decision. Some scholars argue that pre-literate societies prioritized experiential learning and contextual understanding over rigid written dogma. Knowledge was fluid, adaptable, and deeply embedded in practice and lived experience. The information wasn't meant to be divorced from its context, but to be activated and understood within the dynamic framework of daily life, ritual, and environmental interaction. Writing, while offering permanence, could also lead to a decontextualization of knowledge, freezing it in time and potentially making it less adaptable to changing circumstances. Perhaps the very act of knowing in these societies was intrinsically linked to the process of transmission and application rather than mere storage and retrieval. The loss, then, wasn't a failure, but a shift in epistemology, a different way of relating to and understanding the world's information. As we stand at the precipice of a new understanding, the echoes of their unwritten history resonate, challenging us to uncover the genius of our ancestors and rethink the very definition of data storage. Their forgotten cloud invites us to decode the profound wisdom embedded in their sophisticated, living archives. It forces us to confront our own biases and to appreciate the myriad ways in which humanity has sought to preserve its legacy, to navigate its world, and to pass on the torch of knowledge across the vast expanse of time. What other secrets lie hidden in plain sight, dismissed as mere folklore, waiting for us to understand their true significance?